feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright, echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to see you. I will start setting up. I've got no idea if a notification went out tonight. No idea. But it is good to see you guys. I hope you all got that update yesterday about Aaron Patterson. We had known for a little while, about 48 hours beforehand, we got word that the date may get listed soon, but I didn't think it was going to be that quickly. And then it was confirmed yesterday, just before 2 p.m., that it would be seen or heard by the appeals panel in August over 2 days, which makes sense because there's the OPP appeal. They have their own appeal about the sentence, manifestly inadequate. And then we have Erin's 7 grounds of appeal for her personal appeal against a range of things. So that'll be heard over 2 days. I suspect what we'll hear is the OPP go first because they were the first one to lodge their appeal. Then possibly we'll hear Erin's side of it for the following remaining time, and that'll go ahead. So we'll be there. It's going to be held in Melbourne, so I don't need any help with any donations or anything. I'll go. Cost me like nothing to go on the train. So I am more than happy to do that for you guys. More than happy. Bring you the best information I can. All right. I thought, being that it's Friday night, and I'm coming to you from a really awful Melbourne today. It was like sun shining before, and now it's freaking dark and raining. 4 seasons in one day down here. I thought we'd talk about some interesting topics tonight, being it's Friday. Let's have some less serious and more fun tonight. And I want to talk to you about... okay. What? Okay. I don't know what that means. But yes, all right. Hey, so we talked about a yearbook the other day. So it's graduation season right now. It's graduation season. Everyone's graduating. They're all getting their gowns and their certificates and diplomas. It's a fun time if you're a young person. And the other night we brought you on a yearbook about these people with disabilities who were left out of their yearbook, which was horrible. I don't have an update on it, but I hope the school's going to come to a better... Oh, actually, there is an update. Apparently, the school has pushed out another apology. In North Carolina, they're saying that they are apologizing again to the 12 students with disabilities that were left out of the high school yearbook. Look, I don't think it's a very fair solution, what they were offering, but I'm just trying to see if there's a better update here for you. Just seeing if the Tuesday night... Yeah, look here. Here's an update. I'm going to bring it up on the screen and then we'll get going. Here's a small update about it. It's not a very good update, but here's the update for you. They're saying in Chapel Hill, Scarborough City Schools, it is our collective responsibility to ensure that all students are seen, valued, and included. Chapel Hill High School and our districts as a whole recognize the heartbreak and anger that's been felt, and for that we are deeply sorry. They also say here, the students who are directly affected will get new yearbooks with their photo included. The school is making professionally produced insert pages available for friends who want to add their photos to yearbooks they have already purchased. I still think that's not good enough. That's not really good enough. You're basically saying, oh, if these special people who we deliberately left out, if they have any friends, well, we don't think they do, but if they do, we are going to give them a special little insert that only their friends and family can put in there because, they're the only ones who would want to see them. It is very isolating for these disabled people. I am adamantly against it. And I think that um, the school should do better. The school should do better by them. That's not okay. And treating anyone with a disability like they are nothing is not fair. It's not fair to them. It teaches them that the world is going to treat them differently. And it's almost like you're like, hey, this is your reality check that now that you get out of this place, this is how you're going to get treated in the real world. That's not okay. And their solution for it is just crap. It's just crap. It's basically like, hey, you're just going to have to deal with it. And this is what we're going to do for you. So, yeah, I just don't think it's a great solution. It just reinforces the entire thing to me. It doesn't make it any better. It doesn't make the students feel valued. All it basically says is, here's your yearbook with your photo in it. Go away. That's what it says. So it says here that this school has a history of doing this. I'm just trying to find it. That's why I clicked on this particular link for you. They said they had a history of doing this type of thing. I'm trying to find out why. Um, it doesn't tell me. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Got a phone call. Yeah, I don't really know what to do about it. Yeah, here. It's not the first time students with intellectual and developmental disabilities have been omitted from Chapel Hill school yearbooks according to parents. One parent told the News and Observer that her East Chapel High School student and her classmates were omitted from the 2022 to 23 yearbook, and Lexi was left out of the school's yearbook last year as well. Luke was also left out of the Estee Hills Elementary School yearbook in the 5th grade. So they have a pattern of not putting in kids who have a disability, and this has been happening for multiple years. It's horrific. I feel so sorry for these kids, man. I I don't know what to tell you except for we talk about kindness in the world towards people, and we talk about it between just everyday people, right? Shouldn't the people that have barriers in life, shouldn't we be kind to them and help them, lift them up, not make them feel like they're not a part of our world? And I am very much against that. I think the school's done completely the wrong thing. The fact that they have a history of it as well makes me very upset. And we should treat people better. I think so. And I hate the fact that these kids are going to leave this school. It's a big accomplishment. Imagine if you might be someone out there, if you had these type of barriers in your life and you actually graduated your school, got out, got through the yearbook. I mean, what an accomplishment that they had the drive, and I'm sure they were bullied throughout their school years too. It's an accomplishment. They should be very proud. So I don't know. I think Chapel Hill High School needs to be better, do better. Yeah, I think they just need to do better. I will keep looking into that one for you. I'm going to try contact Chapel Hill High School and ask for a better statement from their administrator, and I'm going to list my reasons as why I want a better explanation of these prior offending, this, previous not putting people in with disabilities, that type of thing. I will contact them. Sorry, it makes me very upset. I don't like when the world makes the world smaller for people who already have a marginalized existence, like people like this, right? Their worlds are already smaller than me, you, other people. It shouldn't be that way, but that's just the reality of it. And when something like this is done, whether it's deliberate or not, it marginalizes and minimizes their world even more. And it just reinforces like you're different, you're not going to make it out there. People will treat you differently. You will be left out. And that's not okay. That's just not okay. Um, Tell them to be like their tigers wording change. Yeah, we could tell them that. Chipmunk said, same people who post on anti-bullying, I want them to have a nice yearbook after what this hurt. Yes, I would like to see that giving them the yearbook with their photo, it appeases part of it, but they will always know that the rest of the school didn't have their photo in it, right? I actually think that's more hurtful than not having the photo in there at all, because it's basically again saying that like, here's your little photo, go away now. It's just, I don't know, it's hurtful. Mountain B said, "Thank you so much, Ping. I'm the mother of an exceptional child, now an adult, and this story hits so hard." I agree, and I'm sorry the show that we did this in got deleted. We had a copyright request from the local news agency. I can't remember which one it was. One of them put up they didn't want to strike the channel, but they were going to, can't remember. They were going to do something. Normally they just say, "Hey, can you remove that portion of it?" This one was like the step after that, and they wanted to like take all the monetization away. They wanted to take the views away. They wanted all the analytics and stuff. And I was like, "Here, I'll just take it down. It's not worth keeping it up." So we'll redo it tonight. Chipmunk said exactly. So if they see the yearbook, it's always a reminder. I really want to know who was behind this. I don't buy that their whole this is a policy administration error. If that's true, how come it happened in 2023? How come it happened at other schools in the district? If that is the case, what is causing it, and why aren't you being transparent about what is actually causing this to happen year after year? And what do these other students care? What do they care if Luke's in it? What do they care if Lexi's in it? It shouldn't matter to them. They should just be looking at their own photos and their own friends. And, I thought the school would have taught them better values, that these people need friendship, need guidance, need help, and they need their community. I thought that's what this was all about, but apparently not. I'll get back to you on that one. I have another one. It's graduation season, and I thought I'd bring you something from Iowa. Iowa or Kansas? Hold on. Kansas. Ping almost got confused between Iowa and Kansas. Wichita High School East. And I want to show you something. Apparently, the administrator for this particular school is a bit of a dork. And I'm going to show you why. Hold on. Where is it? Students from it. Yep. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you a video. And I think you would like to see it if I can get to the YouTube channel with it on there. What is it? Okay, why are you not showing me this? Okay. It's loading, guys. We're still having some stuff going here. Okay, I'm going to take you to a story out of KAKE out here in Wichita. Let's go back here.
Good evening. As this is graduation season, ceremonies for Wichita schools have seen multiple cases of fights after the ceremonies.
And after another incident at a graduation Wednesday night, some people are questioning the actions of a school staff member. Cake's Sydney Ferguson is here now with details. Sydney?
Yeah, Deb, Chris, yesterday South High students walked the stage at Koch Arena at Wichita State celebrating a major milestone, but that transition was interrupted afterward by a fight outside. There was also a separate incident at East High on Wednesday. Caught on camera, Wichita State University police forced to use pepper spray to break up a fight outside South High School's graduation Thursday. Investigators say 10 students were involved in the scuffle outside Koch Arena on the Wichita State University campus, some in graduation gowns. They say the teens involved ran from the scene. The Wichita School District says the fight happened after most people left Koch Arena, with Wichita State adding the incident was brief, no arrests were made, and no injuries were reported. WSU says no additional details are available at this time, but it does come just 1 week after a large fight at Century 2, following Chester Lewis Learning Academy's commencement ceremony. A representative with the district had this to say last week.
Anytime
Made these incidents easier to see, others feel they're becoming more common in the situation when video fighting. More common and they don't always involve fighting.
Serena Gomez.
Here, a moment of celebration turned sour Wednesday at East High School's graduation when video shows an administrator grabbed a graduating senior before she could celebrate. The student declined to appear on camera, but says she felt it was unnecessary and took her moment away.
Key Henderson.
Around 20 minutes before that, the same administrator can be seen grabbing a boy and refusing to let go until he shakes his hand. Comments on the first video show many people upset with the use of force by the administrator. Wichita Public Schools said in a statement, quote, "There are clear expectations shared with students before the graduation ceremony in order to get all 500 students across the stage in a timely manner so everyone can have their moment to celebrate."
I'm sorry. Was that girl putting her arms in the air? Was that somehow going to not allow another student to come through? She looked like she was moving. She didn't stop. She just put her arms in the air like, yeah, celebration, I made it. And this guy manhandled her, put his hands on her. He's lucky he didn't cop a punch to the face. That's not okay. What a power tripping a-hole this guy is. I mean, yeah, I've got the other video from KAK that has the better view of it. It's this one here, right? Yeah.
Serena Gomez.
Yeah, you guys can see it there, right? Manhandle me like that, I will punch you in the face, not even joking. I can't stand people that try to use their physical size to try and overrule someone else. And as a school administrator, under what power does he have to put his hands on anyone? That is not okay. The other guy too was F you, that the guy that was trying to get his certificate and walk through the stage, he was like, nah, I don't want to shake your hand, bro. And he pulled him back, and then he's like, look, I have a card. He was just doing that to cover up for the fact that he touched him. That guy's really slimy. I don't like the fact that he put his hands on kids. Here, I'm going to mute it. It's very loud. Yeah, so, yeah, this guy here. And he drags him back. Look. Here, have a card. Dude, have a punch to the freaking jaw. You're lucky that dude didn't beat you. Seriously. That guy looks like he don't put up with no crap. He don't have to shake your hand either. You don't owe anyone a shaking of the hand. See, that's what it was. He was pissed that he didn't want to shake his hand. You don't owe anyone, even in a high school, a handshake or whatever. You can do whatever you want when you cross that thing. What are they going to do? Kick you out? You're graduating. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Take away your diploma? I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it because the parents would go absolutely mental. They would go mental. You would have a lawsuit on your hands in about 30 seconds. So I don't understand why this guy is manhandling children. I don't really get it. Like, she just tries to wave to her family. That's it. And then he like pulls her back in line. Oh, no celebrating here. No celebrating on one of your, for these kids, this is such a big achievement to graduate, right? And then to like be like, hey, let me manhandle you. What a dork this guy is. There's a reason this guy did not want to shake his hand. He's obviously got a reputation at this school for some reason. I'm not sure what it is, but there's obviously a reason the students do not like him. And it can't be just from that other girl. There must be a reason. See here, who is the administrator? That's not him, is it? Is that him? That's not him, is it? Nah, didn't look like him. Who is that guy? Let's find out. Who is he? It just says the administrator, school administrator. Why don't they name him? They're saying students at a high school, Wichita High School East, were manhandled by a school administrator as they crossed the stage to collect their diplomas on May 20. They don't say who it is. Let's have a look. Wichita School East. Interesting. The official identity of the Wichita High School East administrator shown in the viral graduation video has not been publicly released or named by the school district or from major news outlets. Interesting why they won't give the name out. I mean, interesting. If he's a public person on the school, getting paid by the government, it should be public information. Chipmunk said, "Dork to me is kind of a term of endearment. That guy is just mean." Cockwomble. Okay. Yeah, we like Jeopardy. We need a definition. Chipmunk said, "I bet he's all over all over their Facebook feeds." Maybe. So there's like your more weird things that have been happening at graduation. I just wanted to start off the show with something a little, well, somewhat relaxed. I don't know how relaxed that is, but something different. I have some other actual hardcore true crime for you, and I don't know. I've been umming and ahhing whether we should tell you this story or not. Hold on, let me get rid of that. I've been umming and ahhing whether to talk about this subject with you. There is a killer in the UK that has been in jail since, I think it's 1998. I think he was in jail in 1998, but he was sentenced in 1999 before the turn of the century. Turn of the century? New millennium. David Harker. Do you guys know who David Harker is? You may not know who this is. He killed a woman called Julie Patterson in Darlington in 1988. I'm just trying to get some more detail for him. So he went up for parole for the 9th time. For the 9th time, he tried to get out of jail. I'm going to show you his image. There he is. And what he has done, when I tell you what he has done, you guys are going to flip out. You guys, I don't know if you guys have never heard of this. This may be okay. This may be something foreign to you. All right, let's tell you. No more teasing the answer. He killed Julie Patterson in Darlington in 1998. Only some of her remains have ever been recovered because he dumped some of her remains in front of a home which he thought was abandoned, but it wasn't. There were people there. They found her remains and then obviously called the authorities. The problem here is that David Harker is never told what he did with the rest of this woman, except that he ate this woman, including eating a part of her thigh with a plate of pasta. He admitted to friends and psychiatrists that after luring Miss Patterson into his home and killing her, he had fried part of her thigh and eaten it with pasta and cheese. He ate her. For some reason, this guy killed this woman right here. There's Miss Patterson there. And cut off her thigh and decided to turn it into some sort of pasta dish. Yep. So he was denied parole for the 9th time. He's gone up for parole so many times every few years, and they believe he is too dangerous to ever get out. So he's been eligible for parole since 2013, but the parole board concluded it is still not safe to allow Harker to be released or transferred based on the continuing need to protect the public. It said the law required Harker's case to be assessed regularly, but that the chance of him getting out is basically non-existent. So they only found part of this woman, unfortunately. They've never been able to locate the rest of her. They did actually search a rubbish dump, hoping to find the rest of her, but they never did. They were never able to find her. So where he put her after eating part of her, we don't know. Hold on, BBC. I am surprised our friends at the BBC have not done a video on this. Hold on. I was hoping we could show you a bit of footage from his trial. Yeah. So, no, they don't have one, but I can tell you a few things from it. They're saying here, so Harker has been refused parole under Helen's Law, and Helen's Law was a new law in the UK designed to keep these type of people really behind bar. It's called the Prisoners Disclosure of Information About Victims Act 2020 in the UK. And what that means is a killer who has been convicted of killing someone, a murderer, and the body has not been located, it's sort of like a no body, no parole. But they have to faithfully and truthfully give as much information as they can to allow authorities to go and find what's left of her for her family. He has not done that. He has not told them where she is. And they're saying here, this legislation places a statutory obligation on the parole board to specifically consider a prisoner's refusal to disclose information during their release evaluation. The law was named after a 22-year-old Helen McCourt, who was murdered in 1988. Her killer, Ian Sims, was jailed for life but refused to disclose where he hid her body. So they named it after her to avoid another Helen McCourt. They never located her either. So that is the new law. He's now been denied under that. And it means, unless he's willing to tell people where she is, where he put her body, that he's most likely, well, I don't think he'd get out anyway. I don't think anyone wants a cannibal roaming around the UK countryside, do you? I don't think the parole board would be okay with that. There's his photo from back when he was arrested back in 1998. And yeah, I've never heard of someone doing that to someone. Basically chopping off a piece of their thigh and cooking it with pasta and cheese. It's spaghetti with human meat, basically. They're saying here, that he admitted to cutting off a part of the victim's frying it with garlic butter, and eating it with pasta and cheese. He pleaded guilty to manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility due to severe psychopathic disorder. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 14 years in jail. And they're saying here only partial remains of Julie Patterson were ever found. They were found in a garden hedge. Harker has consistently refused to reveal where he hid her head and limbs. So he will not tell the authorities where he has put her. So I don't know, I agree. One, he should never get out because of what he did. But two, he should never get out because he won't tell. Two different things. No Chianti, no. Hannibal Lecter, he might be almost a real life Hannibal Lecter, right? The fact that he took a victim off the streets and consumed part of her thigh. I mean, yeah, what? Does he have any confirmed psychiatric? Basically, in today's modern psychology and psychiatry, he would have what they call ASPD, which is antisocial personality disorder. That is what it's called now. Back in the day, it would have been called severe psychopathic disorder. So what they would call a psychopath. That's not used anymore. They call it ASPD. And they're saying here, so since he got put into prison, he's been managed as a maximum risk prisoner in jail. And they're saying forensic psychologists and probation officers continue to state that his core personality disorder makes him too dangerous to ever be safely managed in the community. So this guy has been in jail for literally since 1999. And over that time, even with some treatment and that, they still think he's too dangerous and there's nothing they can do to manage his personality disorder. It's crazy. So back in February 11th is when he was sentenced to life in jail in Testside Crown Court. He pleaded guilty to manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility for killing Julie Patterson. The court heard that Harker had bragged to 25 people that he had fried parts of the victim's thigh. Yeah, that's all we got from the court. They're saying here, Harker was fascinated with serial killers, watching films and reading books about them. And Mrs. Patterson was reported missing from her home in Darlington, County Durham, last April. Parts of her body were found in a bin liner in a hedge in town, but her arms, legs, and head have never been recovered. I think for her family, that must be awful. Apparently, the police took 1 month to find parts of Mrs. Patterson's dismembered body after her disappearance, searching sewers and rubbish tips. And they said, but they never found anything else. That's it. That's all we know. We don't know a lot more about him. They're saying here they believe she was strangled. That's her actual cause of death, that he strangled her when he was inside of his apartment. And when they did the forensics inside of his apartment, they found 3 different places inside of his apartment that showed signs of someone being dismembered. So he took her body into multiple places of his home and cut her up. It's crazy. This guy. I would think no, considering he's considered a high risk inmate, he is probably not in general population. They're saying during his time on remand at Ashworth High Security Psychiatric Hospital, Harker also claimed to psychiatrists that he experienced necrophilia. So what did he do to her body when he killed her? That's one thing to admit to your psychiatrist. Apparently he did. So that's pretty brutal. I don't know why you would admit to that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can tell you. I just wanted to bring it to you because they use that new law, Helen's Law, and also because of his type of offending. I just didn't know if you had all heard of him before. Oh, apparently at the parole hearing, there was over 356 pages of reports, including submissions on behalf of the Secretary of State, arguing against his release from prison. So almost 400 pages of reports and different people writing in saying that he should never be allowed out. When you've got a stack of paper that thick of people saying, hey, this guy is too dangerous to be out in the public, that is a hell of a dossier. I'm trying to see if there's anything else about. I'm guessing a lot of it is suppressed under the court. A lot of UK cases are suppressed in the court, unfortunately. Let's see. Under Helen's Law. Yeah, I don't have too much more to give you, but there was a documentary about it here. David Harker. That you guys might like to watch. It's called, well, there's a few. There's one called Murder Town, and it's called Darlington. So you can watch that. It's season 2, episode 5. And then there's another one called Cannibal Killer. And that one's quite an old documentary. It came out years and years ago. And that one's, I think that one came out in 2007. So you can watch that one as well. I think Murder Town's a little newer. Came out in 2019. That one might be a better watch for you. I'm trying to see if we have some more photos of her, because we don't have a lot. Nope. Okay. That's a new photo. There's a photo of Miss Patterson for you there. Not Erin Patterson. Completely different family. Kim said a guy broke into a morgue recently and assaulted the bodies. Didn't I bring you that story? The guy in the UK? I think I told you that story. I think you guys didn't know about it before I told you. There was a guy in the UK. They believe he is the largest necrophile ever caught. He worked for the hospital. He would use his credentials and card to get in, sneak into the morgue, and he would assault the dead bodies, including filming them. You guys know this story? I'm sure we've done it on this channel several times. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I broke this story to you guys. David Fuller. David Fuller is the one that you guys might know about. He is a disgusting excuse for a human. The things he did, one of the stories that I remember is that there was a girl, she had died just hours beforehand, little girl, and she was in the morgue. Her mum hadn't even got to see her body yet, and he snuck in there and defiled her. And then the mum came and spent her final moments with her daughter. And then she found out years later about it. So her final moments with her daughter, seeing her in the morgue, were tarnished because she knew that someone had defiled her daughter prior to her seeing it. It's really, really sad. There was a small update on it last year. There was an inquiry into what it did. Here, I'll play it for you.
We mustn't forget what David Fuller did. The NHS electrician sexually abused more than 100 bodies in 2 Kent hospital mortuaries. Women, young and old, including 24-year-old Azra Kamal.
I spent time with Azra in the mortuary, and that moment helped me heal. We spent 2 hours together. And then subsequently, I found out that prior to my visit and shortly after my visit of my only child in the mortuary, she had been raped.
Today's inquiry looked at how we protect the dead in other hospitals, hospices and funeral parlours across England. And it concluded this.
I have asked myself whether there could be a recurrence of the appalling crimes committed by David Fuller. I have concluded that yes, it is entirely possible that such offences could be repeated.
The report found regulation and oversight of the care of people after death are partial, ineffective, and in significant areas completely lacking. It said such offences could happen again, and that there should be statutory regulation in place to protect the security and dignity of people after death.
If I wanted to become a funeral director and set up in my garden shed, could I do that tomorrow?
Yes, you could. At present, anybody can set up as a funeral director. They need no specific training or qualifications, and you can just do it, and nobody could stop you.
And how do you feel about that?
As I said in my interim report on it, it's appalling. It's entirely inappropriate, which is why I'm calling for statutory regulation.
The government is considering the recommendations, but the families of Fuller's victims also want them to consider how they are treated. 4 years on, they're still fighting for compensation and have to prove the impact on them personally.
It is not my responsibility to prove to the solicitors, the lawyers of the NHS Trust, that this has devastated me. They don't know my nightmares, and they will never know because they don't live it, Jason.
What do you think Azra would make of all of this and what you've had to put yourself through?
She would say, "I'm sorry, Mum. It wasn't my fault."
This isn't just about the dead, but also those who loved them. Jason Farrell, Sky News.
There you go. That's that one. One of the worst. I've heard some pretty bad stories in my time in true crime, but that one's one of the worst. The fact what he did to that girl is horrific. Did he get? Yeah, he got life in prison. Yeah, he ain't getting out ever. Gaylor said they must be missing something in their brains. I don't know what he's missing, but it's one of the worst stories I've ever heard. Gaylor said, yeah, I know. You know what the more disgusting thing about David was? He filmed it all. And he kept all these films. And one of the most gross parts of his offending, he used Photoshop to photo out autopsy markings. Things like stapling and stitching and incisions. He used Photoshop to Photoshop out those type of details from the bodies to make them look more human or more like alive in a way, more perfect. And that was, yeah, I don't know if that video said it. I had to, my Amazon driver is being an absolute dick. The other day, he delivered some drinks here, and the bottom of the box was broken. He must have carried it with the other side, the one that was intact, to be able to carry it, right? When he put it down, he put it in some weird place at my property. He flipped it over and then took a photo of it so it looked good. And when I picked it up, the drinks went everywhere because there's no bottom on it. So I reported it to Amazon, and now he's being an absolute dick about it. He took my package today and just threw it into the garden out the front of my property. He just threw it. So I had to report him again. Like, he's just being an absolute dick. It's his fault. Don't be an asshole if you want your customers to, not negatively report you. Do the right thing. Like, that was such a dog thing that he did the other day. Like, to do that, why would you do that? Just to take a photo because you don't want it on your record that you damaged your parcel? Like, come on, man. Now you're just getting more problems, and they're all caused by you. So unfortunately, I had to report him again. I don't want to. I don't want to report him, but what am I supposed to do? If it gets worse, I'll have to contact the actual delivery center and report him like properly to the management there, because he's just being a dick now. Yeah, it was actually cat food for my cat because we ran out, and I ordered it, and he just threw it like really far into the garden. Just a wanker. And he won't come and buzz the door, because if he does, he's going to get me. And I think he knows what'll happen. So he's been hiding, not ringing the doorbell. They're supposed to ring the doorbell or call, and he hasn't. And he's just being a wanker. Montana said, thought Amazon feedback was anonymous. It's not. No, feedback. If you feedback on the driver, they know what parcel it was. It's not anonymous. They know what parcel you're reporting on. Sweet Emma said, I would report him too. Well, I have. I've reported him through the normal way. And if he keeps doing it, I'll have to go to management and talk to him. Like, do you know what the adult thing to do would have been? It would have been to deliver my next package, ring the doorbell, and apologize. That would have been the grown-up thing to do. That would have been the normal thing to do, and say, hey, I was having a bad day. I shouldn't have done it. Sorry about that. I won't do it again. And that's it. That would have been the end of it. Chipmunk said, got to be a people person in mail delivery. Yeah, this guy, I think he just hates his job. They do this and they get like jaded, and eventually they'll leave. And I get it. It's a hard job. I'm not saying it's not. It's a really difficult job being a delivery driver. And I get it's very hard to make everyone happy doing that job, but at the same time, this behavior is unacceptable. So if I have to keep marking him down, I will. The other thing is, the package he damaged the other day, Amazon were going to send me a free one, like a replacement for free because it was damaged. He is refusing to deliver it. He returned it back to the factory, and now it's just sitting there. Like, it won't go anywhere. So they end up having to refund my money in total. Because he just won't deliver it now. He's just like, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. So he's just being a wanker. Yeah. Yes, I'll go back to Fuller. Yeah, Fuller had a trial. He got life in prison. That happened back in December 16 of 2021. And yes, he is never getting out. David Fuller will never get out of jail. He is a despicable killer. He really is. David Fuller is an English serial killer and necrophile who is serving a whole life prison term for the 1987. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. The way they caught him is not how you think they would have caught him. So you think, oh, they must have had CCTV and they saw this guy sneaking in. No, that's not how they caught him. They caught him because another police department was investigating 2 murders from the 1980s. They raided his property in connection with those 2 murders from 1987. And during that raid, when they took his computer, that is when they found the stuff going on with the morgue. It wasn't until they raided him on 2 unrelated things. So they happened upon his offending and so he went from murdering people to get his thrills to actually victimizing people in a morgue. Obviously, at some point, decided he was getting too old to continue to be a murderer, and he decided to change his offending to morgues. So that is how they found him. It's really brutal. I mean, what a thing to find for officers when they raided him, like the 1 in a million shot, and that's what they find. It's one of the craziest stories I think I've ever heard of in true crime. So in 1987, Fuller strangled and essayed 2 young women in Kent. The killings remained unsolved for decades until DNA advancements linked him to the cold cases, leading to his arrest in December of 2020. That is when they uncovered the digital archive at his home and a little black book detailing his offending against different females and other people. Investigators found he had used his staff swipe card to access hospital mortuaries in the former Kent and Sussex Hospital and Tunbridge Wells Hospital, where he essayed dead people. His victims range from the age of 9 to 100. So he had victims as young as 9 to the age of 100. And they're saying here, in December of 2021, he received a whole life order and he will never get out of jail. He is never getting out. So, yeah, there you go. When we're talking about that other story, who's emailing? Ping. Okay. I don't know what that's about. Yes. So there you go. If you don't know who David Fuller is, now you do. now you know exactly who he is. He is a despicable guy. Really, really despicable. I still think it's crazy that the way they caught him was linked to a older murder. Let's see. Life in prison. Yeah, let me take you back to when he was sentenced to life in prison. Let's watch this from the Telegraph where he was raided, when his home was raided. I want to watch that.
We're from Kent Police and we're investigating the murders of Wendy Nell and Caroline Pierce in 1987. Okay? As part of that investigation, you've been linked as a suspect, both geographically and forensically. Okay? If you listen to what my colleague's going to say to you.
All right, David. You're under arrest on suspicion of the murders of Wendy Nell and Caroline Pierce in 1987. Do you understand?
Yes.
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention, when questioned, something which you later lie in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. You are being arrested to secure and preserve evidence by means of questioning, so we can conduct searches, so forensic samples can be obtained, and to prevent your disappearance. Do you understand? Okay.
Well, on the back of his chest of drawers, it looks like he's got some hard drives in there, I would say. But they're stuck to the back of the chest of drawers.
Those hard drives, they're the ones where they found all the images and videos that he had made in the morgue. That's them right there. They had them stuck to the back of a drawer. What do you call it? Like a bedside table.
Let's have a look. Yeah, it's a SanDisk one that I can read there.
Got number 28. Born, died, hasn't put a date. Photo. Born, died, no thing. Photo, no bit. Number 48. Date of birth, date of death.
He's identified the victims.
Sorry?
Those are the
Yeah, well,
victims.
yeah, the ones who.
No, they are. They're the ones in there.
There you go. Isn't that brutal? Look at this. They're the hard drives right there. Did we get a better view of that? right there. He had made like a little, I don't know, like a little holder for the back of the drawers. That's where he kept all his filthy offending. And the fact he had this little black notebook with details of like date of birth and death and like how hot their photos were from Facebook. That's the other thing he did. He would go on Facebook and search out the victim. And one of the things he would do with his Photoshop was he would manipulate the photos and put their photos from Facebook on their dead bodies and stuff. Like he was really, there's only one word I can say really. He was a really fucked up guy. Like he did some really messed up stuff. The fact that you would do that, and you heard that mom in that other video, like that was her last moments with her daughter, and I mean that's traumatizing. It's really traumatizing. Yeah, I'm trying to. There was another one where you see him in a police cell. I really wish it's this one here.
It was always in the evenings, David. It was always evening time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How we know that.
I want to admit I am admitting the offences, but I don't really want to go into detail.
Yeah. Okay.
We appreciate that.
And what offences are you admitting, David?
As you've just described to me.
Okay.
What a bitch this guy is. You know, you're so quiet and be like, oh, to the offenses that you just said. Oh, you're such a big man, sneaking in, killing 2 people in 1987, and then sneaking into a morgue and, you know, essaying like hundreds of people. But you've got the voice of a bitch when you speak to the police. Like, where's the ownership of your crime? Don't you want to be awesome? Aren't you? Don't you have some like giant depraved ego of yourself? Where is it? Because it ain't here in these videos. Every time we see these murderers interviewed in a police station, it's like they just shut down and they turn on this little timid voice like a mouse. And we know that's not what they're like. Here, I'll play the rest of it.
In terms of the sexual penetration of corpses. Okay. Do you know why you started?
No.
The second part to this, David, is the recording, isn't it? Of what's been happening. Okay? We'll have to go through that in a little bit more detail, but just for now, David, all right? Just for now, all right? When that's been happening, okay? All right? Have you been recording yourself doing those things? Recording yourself sexually penetrating the corpses?
I admit that offences.
Yeah. Okay. Did you record their names?
Yes.
Okay. Did you record their ages?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you record what was going on?
I don't know why.
What did you retain the recordings for?
I don't know either.
Okay.
So timid. So like, oh, I don't know. What are the recordings for, David? Oh, I like to view them. No, like where's the explanation that you're a depraved sexual sadist? Where's that explanation? Where's the whole, oh, I'm a dirty old man? Like, where's that? Because this whole little like church boy act that you're putting on in the interview does not wash with anyone. They've seen your offending buddy. They watched all the videos. They know you killed 2 people in 1987. They're not buying your act. It's strange. It's really strange that they put on this like sort of shutdown moment thing that they do. Erin did it too. If you watch Erin's interview, she does the same thing. She just shuts down, turns into like robotic answers, monotone. Same with this guy. I highly doubt when this guy's hopping into bed in a morgue freezer with a victim that he's this little squirrely vocal guy.
Was it for further sexual pleasure, David? You know, in the same way as somebody would keep pornography or things like that. Was it for further sexual pleasure? No. Okay.
This girl here, she's the one who died. I'm pretty sure she died in some sort of road accident. Something about her car had stopped and she tried to get from one side of the road, and she was on like a high road, and she tried to get from one side, well, north and south. She tried to get from north to south, but she tried to jump over the middle, but the middle had a gap, and the middle went down like 5 stories. She jumped and missed and fell like 5 stories down and like died. And this was like one of his favorite victims. And he molested her body under 5 hours after she was found and taken to the morgue. Like, he is just despicable. Yeah, there's some of these victims. There's one of the moms. She's just so like... let's watch this bit just for a second. I want to hear about how the room works.
For the mortuary because he sometimes needed to do maintenance work there. He knew that staff went home at 4 p.m. Porters might still visit the receiving area, delivering bodies, but the same fridges had doors opening onto the post-mortem area where Fuller committed his crimes. Here there was no CCTV until recently, and the fridge doors were unlocked. Fuller gained access through the utility rooms, avoiding cameras, but he still needed to swipe in.
He had entered the morgue and autopsy area thousands of times, not hundreds, but thousands of times. No one ever stopped him or asked, well, what's this guy doing in here? He was the man to go to. He always made himself available to the mortuary staff. They thought that the perpetrator was a great guy. And basically, he groomed them. They became compliant. They never questioned him. He would actually abuse women whilst porters were bringing in dead bodies externally and internally.
If what he did to Azra was his only crime, he would face just 2 years in prison. A rape charge carries between 4 and 19 years. Azra was a friend of mine and helped me produce some of my reports here at Sky News. Her mother believes the best tribute to her is for lessons to be learned. Hospital Trust has launched an independent investigation into whether anything more could have been done.
Men and women up and down the country will be appalled by what they're listening to, what they've read about. And I remind them that if this was your loved one, you would roar with rage. And I'm silently roaring, and I'm beseeching people that make laws to create a law that this becomes an offence and the appropriate sentencing is passed down. We need to respect the dead.
Yeah, it started then. So it started then.
The Hospital Trust has launched an investigation into what happened.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah, I don't know how we got onto this subject, but it's one of the craziest killers. Cal, hey, my friend, how are you? I think these killers do get very attached to the bodies. My ex dragged my son from mortuary to mortuary, arguing and refusing to pay, then held an open casket a month after he had died. That's pretty gruesome and pretty horrific. I'm sorry that happened to you and your son. It's not okay. Kelly said, seriously disgusting and disturbing. He might be one of the just most depraved killers in the 21st century. Really, we've heard of some, but this goes to a whole. There's killers that are in like that 98% of murderers and serial killers. Then there's the ones that are in the 99.9%, and he's one of them. There's a few, and he's one of them. He's in that very, very, 0.01% of all killers and offenders. He's one of them. He is literally sick. Like there's nothing else you can say. I don't know how that. I don't know. I don't know how you somehow. Like, you saw the demonstration on that video, right? Yeah, where is it? You saw it, yeah? Is it this one that we're watching? Which one are we watching? Not this one. This one.
David T. Room.
You saw how he got in, right? So he snuck through multiple different rooms to get into the post-mortem room. It's only this side, the receiving area, that had any CCTV. And these fridges had doors on both sides. So they would put them in. And obviously that's for workflow, right? Someone comes in, the bodies go in. The mortuary workers, like the medical examiner, pulls them out on the opposite side and takes them into here and works on them. There's also a family viewing area up here. I just don't get how no one caught him in like 30 years. No one saw a creepy old man climbing into the fridges and sleeping with the bodies, touching them, taking their clothes off. It's beyond it's just beyond. It's like the worst of the worst. Depravity plus, yeah. It's just so far out of the realm of even the things we talk about on this channel. Like, this is like way outside of the universe of the things we talk about on this channel. This is like in another solar system, really. It's just the worst kind of thing. It's just this guy. Kelly said there's some real mental illness or something that's wild. I don't think so. I don't think he's mentally ill. I think that's just who he is. The fact that he originally killed people in the 1980s, then decided, I'm getting old, I can't control and do that type of crime anymore. Like, I can't control women. I'm getting too old, too frail. I can't do that. I have to find a new way of offending. So he switched his offending from attacking women to abusing ones that were already dead. It's crazy. It's crazy. Gail said it was easy for him. Yeah. Marilyn said, how old is he? Oh, I think he's not like super old. Hold on. Hey, hold on, guys. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. I had to tell Mrs. Ping something. Yeah, he's not that old. Like, I mean, he's not super old, but you could see in the video, he's sort of frail-ish. He looks older than he is, I think. David Fuller age. He'll be he's 71. He's 71 years old, and he was born in 1954 in Kent. So, yeah. Yeah, 71. Kelly said, was this part of his thing where he would, yeah. I don't know. In the ones from the 1980s, I'm not sure. Yes. In the two murders, what they call the bedsit murders, one lady was named Carolyn Pierce. She was 20. The other one was Wendy Nell. She was 25. So he was like an old school murderer in these ones. He actually broke into their homes and killed them like a burglar attacker, that type of thing. Kind of like the Golden State Killer, that type of thing. And yes, they're saying that he did essay both of his 1987 victims either at the time of death or shortly after their deaths. So there you go. Yeah. There you go. So he did. He just changed his offending. Meek when caught, they are. I think maybe he didn't kill them to R-word them back in the 1987. I think he probably facilitated the attack itself as the sexual motivation. Did that, but then knew he'd have to kill him, otherwise he'd be caught. So he killed them. Probably then offended to them afterwards as well. Yeah, probably. I mean, this guy, it's just so hard to believe. It's so hard to believe someone would do this. It really is. Murders, yeah. I'm just trying to see. I like here in the bottom of his Wikipedia, it says he was interested in bird watching, cycling, and live music and photography. Yeah, photography, really? Yes, we've heard about this. He was the unofficial photographer for London rock band Cutting Crew, and in 1985 accompanied them on tour with his second wife, Sally. Okay. He was interested in bird watching, was he? Yes, I believe he was interested in bird watching, just not the type of birds that they're referring to. A different type of bird. Yeah, he's creepy. Yeah, everyone liked him at the hospital. I mean, that's part of the offending, though. That's part of the people's often offending where they charm everyone and everyone thinks, oh my God, they're such a nice person. And they're hiding like this, like killer, mentality behind it. Huh. That's interesting. In the report into David Fuller's offending and the aftermath of it, the report found that England had no organizations that are primarily tasked with protecting the dignity and the security of the dead. The inquiry found that the majority of NHS mortuaries did not have CCTV installed due to ethical concerns about the dignity of the dead. Fuller had previously admitted had there been CCTV in the mortuary he frequented, he would not have committed the crimes. A further 75 recommendations were made, including that the government should take responsibility to ensure the implementation of the recommendations across various organizations and services. That's interesting. That is an interesting ethical barrier, isn't it? About the CCTV cameras. Like, do you have CCTV cameras in a morgue? I guess they are needed to protect the dead, even at the cost of dignity, if that makes sense. It is the ultimate way of trying to protect them, even though, yeah, it does compromise their dignity. I think the way that you help cover up that dignity is by deleting those videos after a certain amount of time, so that no one can get access to them and that they have to be kept on a secured, encrypted place that no one can access. Gayla said, I walked into one by accident years ago. Turn around fast. I bet you did. Kelly said, I think we have them here in the States, or at least I thought so. I don't know. In the US? Yeah. Ugh. Does medical examiners in USA? Yes, they do, but apparently in the active procedure room where they commit the medical examination, there are no CCTV cameras in the USA, and that is to protect patient privacy and ethical laws in the US. Gayla said, we do have them now, I'm sure. They said in the video that they have now installed them. So they are now in place in the UK. So I know that was a little boring for you guys. I'm sure people are like, Ping, that was like the worst half a show ever. I'm sorry about that. But we've got some more things to talk to you about. I have a okay, my friend wants me to look at this. Yeah, let me have a look. Yes, this is the one that she wants me to look at. Okay, I'm going to take you out to 4 days ago. Okay, maybe just this one.
Back in our country, turning to a developing story, and first a warning, the details are disturbing. Police in Halifax say the mother of a newborn baby who's found dead on Sunday has died in hospital. She was admitted to hospital on Friday, and at the time, police said it appeared she had just given birth. The baby's remains were found 2 days later in a wooded area. Police say a relative of the woman and his wife are now facing charges. Sukhpreet Singh and Ramandeep Kaur are facing charges of concealing the body of a child, a dignity to a child, and obstruction of justice.
My friend JDR wants me to talk to you about this one to shed some light on it, and I am happy to do that. I'm just trying to get to our CBC or Global News. Hold on. Yes. Yeah, we can do this one. They're saying probe into deaths of Halifax mum and newborn will be challenging, according to police. They're saying an investigation into the deaths of a woman and her newborn baby will be challenging, given investigators weren't able to speak to the woman before she died. Police announced Thursday a 23-year-old woman arrived in hospital last Friday in critical condition after giving birth, and then she died following that. The woman was taken to a hospital by EHS after a 911 call to an apartment building in Clayton Park neighborhood. However, the baby was nowhere to be found. The remains of the baby were discovered in a wooded area 2 days later. Police said Thursday that the Nova Scotia Medical Examiner Service will determine the mother's cause and manner of death. The infant's death also remains under investigation. They say both of these investigations will take an extended period of time. So again, the investigation will be ongoing. And they're saying 2 people have been put into custody. It's Sukhpreet Singh, 23, and his wife, Ramandeep Kaur, 26. Each are charged with concealing the body of a child, indignity to human remains, and 2 counts of obstruction. Kaur's lawyer appeared on her behalf in court on Thursday, while Singh appeared via video with a Punjabi interpreter. Police have previously said Singh is a relative of the baby's mother. The pair did not seek bail and will return to court on June 22nd. Halifax Regional Police said they believe the newborn mother's experienced a medical emergency, and investigators did not think her condition was the result of violence. Police have not detailed what the couple is alleged to have done to conceal the body of the child. The Crown said Thursday more charges are possible, and that they've received preliminary results from the autopsy. So something happened to the mum in childbirth, and then they covered it up by hiding the baby's body as well. It's all very sad. Yeah, I'll see if this plays. It may not.
Police issued an update Thursday afternoon that the mother whose baby was found dead near Halifax has died in hospital. On May 22nd, the 23-year-old woman was brought by ambulance to the QE2 Health Center in life-threatening condition shortly after giving birth. This prompted police to search for her missing newborn, whose body was recovered in a wooded area near Prospect Road on Sunday. Police say the medical examiner service is now working to determine both the mother and child's cause of death.
We would like to extend our deepest condolences to the family of the mother and the child, the community as a whole, and anyone grieving from this traumatic incident.
He adds investigators were unable to speak with the baby's mother prior to her death. In court Thursday morning, Crown Prosecutor Paul Carver told reporters while they have some results from the infant's autopsy, the public will need to be patient.
There have been some preliminary, very preliminary.
I want to comment on that for a second, and it'll tie into the next story we do. People really have to understand when they say preliminary, they mean preliminary. It can be literally the most basic of looking at the body. It can literally be looking at the body, not even any medical exams or anything like that. And the reason I tell you this is because of Anna Kepner. People were on their head going, "Oh, look at the preliminary results. There's no SA. There's no what." What do we find out this week? That they found his baby batter inside of her. So everyone was wrong. Even when Ping was like, "This is a SA case," I said it from day one because there was no other effing motive. He's not going to just go strangle his sister for no reason. It was so obvious, and people were like back chatting and all that. Anyway, the reason you have to pay attention to that is because things change. Oftentimes, preliminary work is very early. They haven't got test results back. They haven't got things back. They haven't got any toxicology, anything like that. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. It's very, very early on, and they often don't have all the information that you need. This case is very sad. I don't have a name for the mum. I know people in chat were saying you missed a name for the mum. There is no name, and it's probably got something to do with the privacy laws in Canada. There is no name given. Only the suspects are Surpreet Singh and Ramadeep Kaur. They're the only two. They're husband and wife, and they have been arrested over, multiple crimes to do with indignity to human remains and concealing the body of the child. That's all we have on that. It seems like this story is pretty big in Canada. A lot of people talking about it, and we're going to have to wait and see. Like they said, they're expecting this to be a long investigation due to the nature of it. But it does sound like something went wrong in childbirth, and either someone didn't get help quick enough, or it almost just seems like someone didn't get help quick enough and only got help at the very last minute, and then she ended up dying because she was too injured, unfortunately, too ill. I don't know, Woman of Steel. I'm not sure. They've given him a lot of. I think it's because they said they couldn't find a place for him. A place did become available to him, but only in the last moments, and I think that wasn't good enough for the court. So I don't know. He should be in jail. He R-worded his sister. Doesn't matter if they're half blood, quarter blood, 1/10. It's the I word, and yeah, like he R-worded his own sister and strangled her during it. I don't know what kind of person does that. It worries me that it is corn related, because that sort of imagery of like the bar hold and the sort of R word, it's a theme throughout some corn, unfortunately. This sort of violence against women, this holding them down type of thing. It worries me that maybe this kid has been influenced by what he's seen in that type of thing. It's pretty gruesome. FBI didn't have a juvenile detention. They did find a spot for him at a juvenile detention center, but the judge said it was too far away from the family, and that when they found one that was closer to the family, they would then put him in it. So when they can find one that's for family to visit, they will do it. SPR said, howdy from a cabin in the deep dark woods, School of Rock. That's a good one. That's a good one. Montana said, if he's old enough to do that, he's old enough to be in an adult facility. That is true. Oh, right. He's a stepbrother. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're the stepbrother, whatever. The relationship is still clear. The relationship is that you are brother and sister. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter if you're from the same mom or a different dad or whatever. It doesn't matter. The relationship has boundaries and it's clear. You can't be going around doing that. Sweet University, there's a documentary about how corn is becoming more violent. I don't really get it. Why do you want to beat up your partner? It doesn't make sense to ping. I don't really get it. Let's see. Okay, that is your update for that one. If I find out more, I will let you know. I don't have very much more. They've not released... Yeah, they've just not released a lot in regards to it. Not even the mum's name or how she really... We know she's a relative, but that's about it. She was in critical condition in hospital for 5 days, but was unresponsive. Then they found the child in a wooded area off Old Coach Road in Goodwood. So the reason they were unable to speak to her is because when she arrived at the hospital, she was unresponsive. They never got to talk to her before she died because she never woke up. So she was not able to tell them anything about what happened to her. So that is very sad. The last thing this woman knew was she was giving birth. And that's, yeah, like the lady we read about in Victoria who bled out during childbirth at home. It could have been something very similar. Yes. Winter Steel said he'll justify his attraction to her. Well, I mean, it is Florida. I mean, that's a... I can hear the banjos. I can hear the banjos playing. Ding-a-ding, ding, 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 ding. There's a lot of banjos in Florida. And, I don't know. Maybe it's like a keeping it in the family situation. I'm not sure. But there is a, there's just boundaries, even if it's a by marriage or, you're from one dad and you're from a different mom or something. There's boundaries there, even societal boundaries. You can't do that. Unless you want your children to be in the next version of the Hills Have Eyes, then you should not do that. You should also not kill your sister. Ah, cool, Kim. That's good. I'm glad you're having fun, my friend. I'm glad you're having a lot of fun out there. I'm glad it's a good holiday. You deserve a good holiday, my friend. Hope it's enthralling. Hope you got to meet a lot of people. You still got a couple of days to go. Hope you watch all the panels and things like that. Yeah, I hope you have a great time out there. All right, let's see. Oh, guys, give me 1 minute. 1 minute. All right, there we go. Okay, I have a small update for you. Where is it? Ping can't see very well. Unfortunately, I've been having the problems with my eyes again, with the eye strain again, unfortunately. And wake up in the morning, I can't effing see for like half the day. It'll go away in like a couple of days. I must have done something. Let's go here. All right. Yeah, missing grandparents of teen boy Gus Lamont are totally bewildered by his disappearance after cops confirmed one remains a suspect. And they say a neighbor of Josie and Shannon Murray, the maternal grandparents of missing boy Gus Lamont, get an eye exam. I did. I suffer from a condition called blepharis in this eye. I've already had an eye exam. I already know what it is. It pops up every so often, unfortunately. It's something that I've lived with. Guys, give me 1 sec. What is going on? Hold. There we go. We're back. Sorry. It was getting really annoying. Yeah, it's I've had it for like about 10 years now on and off, and it's often from using the computer too much. So if I'm on the computer too much and I'm watching the screen like overly a lot, it can flare up a little bit. It just gets really annoying for like 2 days, and then eventually it calms down and goes away. Yeah. So okay. So Josie and Shannon Murray, you guys know that. You guys know this little boy. He is Gus Lamont. And I told you we didn't have much of an update, but I do have a little bit of an update here that according to them, they don't understand why they are a suspect. And the title is Grandparents of Missing Boy Gus Lamont are totally bewildered by his disappearance, and they just don't really get why the cops are focusing on them. They saying here, the neighbor who describes herself as a family friend of Josie and Shannon said the 4-year-old is absolutely their beloved grandson, and said, I thought they were totally bewildered, I would say, more than anything. They sort of can't understand what's happening and why. You know, I appreciate the neighbor's point of view, but what I would say is that, you know, it's one thing to be a neighbor. Your neighbors are always going to put on like a brave face type of thing. They're always going to just tell you, you know, the surface of it. They're not going to tell you, hey, I killed my grandson and I hit him. They're not going to do that. And you can say all the nice things about them that you want. It doesn't change the fact that police who searched their property for 9 months can't find the little boy, and they're pretty sure that the people that were there that night have something to do with it, right? So Warner still said, you do know that thing affects your eyesight, right, Ping? Yes, but I've been pretty good so far. My eyes have been fine. I've not had any problems with it. It only affects it when it's actually happening, not outside of that. When it's outside of that, my eyes are fine. It just seems to flare up. Normally when I sleep, either sleep on the wrong side of the bed, and or I've looked at the screen for too long. It's like eye strain type of thing. But no, I only seem to have the problem while it's active. When it's not active, it's not a problem. My eyes are fine. I can see ages away. Let's see here. They said, yeah, authorities searched more than 30 kilometers of waterways during 11 searches of the remote property over 8 months and didn't come up with anything. There's the neighbor. Fleur Tiva is her name. And she's like, oh, they're lovely people. Miss Fleur, or Fleur. No, Fleur. It's Fleur. I'm sorry, my friend, but you've got to come to the realization that a child went missing on an ultra remote property where people can't get into the property. So where exactly do you think the child went? Because they've done searches, they've done AI, they've flown helicopters and planes and done visuals and scanned all the videos for AI. Like, what exactly would you like us to tell you? They tell you that no, they're innocent and like they've never done anything. It's hard to get that across. It's hard to get that across to people. Thank you, my friend. All right, I'll check. Let's have a look. Thank you. It's very kind. You are very sweet, my friend. I don't want to give out your name, but Green Fairy Light, you are very sweet. Thank you very much. It very much helps. It's very generous of you. Thank you. I just think there's a lot of people that seem to be like surrounding them and being like, they're good people. They might be good people. Sometimes good people do bad things. It doesn't mean that the relationship that you have with them is going to be any different. Of course, maybe you had a great relationship with them. That's why I don't believe things like neighbors' statements and family members' statements, because people who unfortunately do bad things are very good at hiding them. They're very good at like misleading people. So I wouldn't buy too much into what this neighbor is saying. I mean, what else would you like her to say, really? Oh, this is what she says. Okay. She says, it's wide open country and plenty of it. You could miss something. They scanned the entire area going out over 30 kilometers with some of the highest sensitivity AI that money can buy. Not only that, they also ground searched every nook and cranny that they could get to in that 30 kilometers, more and further than a child could ever walk. So what else would you like them to do, and what do you think they missed exactly? I'm confused about what exactly do you think they could do more? This South Australian police, they used a technology that's never been used before in this type of way, because they were so desperate to find him. And they basically hooked it up to a plane, had the camera fly around for hours doing loops and search patterns, trying to scan the skyline. And they ran that through an AI, artificial intelligence. And it picked up everything. It picked up humans on motorbikes. It picked up people tending to the field. It picked up sheep and kangaroos. Like, if there was a toddler, even dead, because it picked up dead animals too, they would have found him. I guarantee you that they would have found it on that AI. That AI, I can't believe it found like dead animals. It was really bizarre. Glasses. Oh, my glasses. I don't know where they are. Yeah, I should put them on. I will find them for tomorrow's show. I'm not sure where they are. I haven't used them in like a year. I haven't had a flare up in like 12 months. So I got to find where I put them. Warner still said, does she know something the police and searchers don't? Like there's a secret portal that can get you out of the property? Maybe she does. I just think that she's trying to be a supportive neighbor and try to speak up for who she considers friends of hers. She's trying to be very what they consider neighborly. She's just trying to help people she considers friends. All right, let me see if I can. I wonder if I can find that interview. Let's have a look. I don't think I can, but yeah, I can't find anything new from them on Facebook or YouTube. Yeah, maybe this one.
Has spent the day scouring kilometres of waterways and creek beds in their desperate search for Gus Lamont.
Let's go live to Hannah Ford, who's at the search scene near Yunta. Hannah, so far they failed to find any new evidence 8 months since Gus vanished.
Rosanna, it's been a long day for Task Force Horizon officers who've been here on the ground since early this morning. The 20-strong team have walked almost 30 kilometres around Oak Park Station with the focus on creek beds and waterways. The hope is that recent flooding may have washed up new evidence.
Much of those flood waters have now receded. That enables SAPOL to do a new operation in areas that they haven't been able to in the past.
Today marks 8 months since Gus was last seen. His disappearance declared a major crime back in February, and police still have one suspect, someone who lives at the property. The foot search today focused on a 5-kilometre radius of where little Gus was last seen on September 27 last year. But today, still nothing, not a trace, not even the hat he was wearing. The search will resume tomorrow morning.
That's the thing. If they had found some sort of clothing, something from the child, evidence, human waste, something, anything, footprints, anything, that would give us hope that maybe he walked off. But the fact they don't have footprints, they don't have any human items like clothing or anything, they don't have any human waste, like, the child would have to go to the bathroom or something like that, maybe even wearing a nappy. I don't know if they are at that age, but maybe. You would find something. And the fact that they've never found anything of that sort, that's why people are so... and the police are like, we think it's possibly the person or someone who was there that night. Because if this happened in Adelaide, the city, like the actual city of Adelaide, you might have a case, right? You might have a case. But the fact this happened so far outside of freaking outside of the city in a rural area, in a property that's bigger than the freaking city of Adelaide itself, that you cannot get into. It's got several gates to get into it. And it's got one road out. What else do you want us to think? It's hard to buy into another theory. 10 more likes to 100. I hope people do. Thank you. That'd be very kind. Kelly said, that's very frustrating, Ping. I'm sure the police are frustrated too. I think the whole community is frustrated because I think, no new evidence in latest search. They didn't find anything. It's concerning. I think everyone would like to have an answer, whatever that is. I don't think anyone's claiming they want the grandparents to be hung. I think people just want the answer of what happened to the little boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone's like, howling for bloodletting. I think people would just like to know, where is Gus Lamont? That's the thing that everyone would like. They would just like to know what happened to the little boy. Because when you don't have that answer, it is a parent's greatest fear that maybe that could happen to their child. And it spreads throughout the community, this fear. And I think they would like to know what happened to him. So I will let you know if I hear anything else. And I have a little update about Rebecca Haro too. Do you guys remember Rebecca Haro? She was the mother of Emmanuel, who we now know. We know so much more now. But she was sentenced today, and it was a good sentence for everyone. At least I think so. She accepted a plea deal. She will spend an absolute age in prison for her role in her child's, what we believe, death. And I'm going to play you that from our friends at Fox 11 in LA.
Is underway in Riverside to decide if a murder trial is warranted for the mother of baby Emmanuel Haro.
The 7-month-old boy vanished last August and his body was never found. Mario Ramirez standing by with the very latest. Mario?
Yeah, Roxy, Sandra, we just got a major update in this case. We had originally been anticipating a judge to make a decision if there was enough evidence to send Rebecca Haro to stand trial, but we've just learned from inside the courtroom, I just stepped out a minute ago, that she has or is in the process of accepting a plea deal. And in exchange, the second-degree murder charge will be dropped. So let's go to the video here. You can see her in court. This was the last time she made an appearance last month. 42-year-old Rebecca Haro. She is back back this morning, and under this deal, Haro pleaded to 1 count of child endangerment, 1 count of involuntary manslaughter, and 1 count of being an accessory after the fact. Now, those charges carry a possible sentence of 12 years and 8 months in state prison. By accepting the agreement, Haro gave up her right to have a jury decide the case and will instead be sentenced by the court at a later date. Now, prosecutors say she helped her husband, Jake Haro, cover up the baby's death, and this case drew national attention last August after baby Emmanuel was reported missing and a massive search effort got underway. Investigators soon after said her story didn't add up. She claimed a stranger abducted the baby while she was changing his diaper outside a Big Five store in Yucaipa, and 8 days later she was arrested along with her husband at their Cabazon home. And Jake Haro later pleaded guilty, this was back in October, to second-degree murder and child assault, and he is now serving 32 years to life. So prosecutors now argue that Rebecca Haro knew or suspected that her son was being abused and did not intervene. Emmanuel's body has not been recovered to this date.
I'm glad she accepted the plea deal. It saves the county a lot of money. What I'm not happy about is that we don't know where Emmanuel Haro is. And another child that we don't seem to be able to bring home. It is very sad that she just stood by and watched that child be absolutely beaten within, to death, basically. That child was beaten. We all saw the baby photos, right? We all saw it and we all picked up on it. Everyone did. I wasn't the only one. People all over the true crime world picked up on like the discrepancy in the photos. It's like this one here. Like he looks pretty ill in this photo already. This one here. But then you look at him, the one that everyone knows, the one photo. This one here. And you see the decline. It's a massive decline in this child's cognitive function. You can see it within the face and the facial structure and the looks. And just the way the kid looks. His skull looks malformed too. Part of his face looks like it's been hit. So when little babies are this old, their skull is quite soft. And it takes quite a while for it to harden up properly. If you hit a child like this, it may deform part of their head for forever. And you can see it, like part of his face looks like he's been whacked, like with something hard right here. Do you see how he's got like a flat spot above that eyebrow? It's very noticeable, and I reckon that was Jake. I reckon Jake hit him with something, either his fist or something hard, or dropped him or threw him. Because like a kid does not naturally have that defect unless they were born with a birth defect like that. But it looks like someone punched him in the head. Yes, definitely. Yeah, he definitely looked like he had been hurt. Like he had that shaken baby syndrome look to him. Woman of Steel said they didn't make his location part of the plea deal. They did with Jake Haro. Jake took them out to where he said he put Emmanuel, and they couldn't find him. The DA accepted that as Jake trying to help them. Take that for what you want. Yeah, could have been dropped on the floor. Yes, he did that with another child. Yeah, I definitely think he's a violent guy, takes it out on his children, and I definitely think that this child was hit in the head several times. Several. I think he was beaten. They probably neglected him too. Well, you can see the developmental decline. I believe this photo, and I might be wrong, but I believe this photo to be when he was younger. And I think that photo, the last photo we showed you, this one is possibly when he's older. And you can see he's getting thinner. He's not as healthy. The other photo, he's got a little bit more fat on him, like baby fat. This one, he's got a bit more baby fat. And he doesn't have that full flat spot over his eye, over that left eye. It's not as pronounced. In that other photo, it's flat. Like it looks like he's been belted with an iron bar. So yes, I agree too. Hey Leisha, how are you, my friend? They are both cowards, including the mum. And the mum trying to say that it was someone that spoke Spanish is gross. There are a lot of things that people try to blame our Mexican and Spanish speaking friends for. Some of them are true, some of them are not. But to go out there and blatantly lie and try to rope in an entire group of people is foul. It is really foul, and it is, not something anyone should stand for. I don't think anyone should stand for that. There are so many nice people who are of Mexican background, they're of other Spanish-speaking countries background, to try and rope them in and be like, they're the ones who are abducting children in our neighborhood. Like, that's not okay. Sweet Universe said, babies are usually happy and reaching for things. Yeah, he just looks like shell-shocked constantly. It's almost like no lights behind the eyes. You know what I mean? Like there's no activity. It's almost like, when you look at a computer or a router, like your router for the internet, and you see the blinking lights and it goes sort of like this kid. It's like the router's turned off. There's no activity. You can't see any life. It just looks like a shell of a child. And that's how you see him, unfortunately. Warner still said she should have protected her children with her life. No, she's a scumbag. She's not protecting anyone but herself. The only person she's interested in protecting is her. She's a class A scumbag. And I know a lot of people protect her. They're like, oh, she's a beaten woman and stuff. Yes, fine. I understand that she was part of a strong DV relationship. However, that doesn't give her a get out of jail free card for allowing her own child to be beaten to death. It doesn't allow her to be complicit in the offending against her children. Both things can be true at the same time, and it doesn't make her a good person, it doesn't make her a good mom. It makes her part of the offending. Yeah, Pepini's excuse. Yeah, it's basically playing to the crowd. I don't think that gets her out of it. I think while yes, I believe Jake was probably violent with her, I do agree with that, and I think you should give her some sympathy for that, some. But at the same time, she's the one who went to that car park. She's the one who set it all up. She had the opportunity to tell someone, and she could have. She could have made that choice to tell someone right there. She could have been like, I'm in a domestic relationship, like domestic violence relationship. He has killed my child. I need help. It's a choice. She could have made that choice. She didn't. And now she'll go to jail for it. So, I think it's a little like, there's a bit of a scale going on here with it. You do have to sort of, there is a little bit there that you have to acknowledge, but not enough. That's why she's going to serve 12 years in jail. 12 years in jail for her part in it. You don't get that for no reason. There's, people can just go, hey, let's sentence the mom to 5 years in jail. 12 years in jail. So, yeah. Let's go here. I think I've got another update for ABCLA. Yes, I do. Hey, geez, let's go.
In the murder of baby Emmanuel Haro. Rebecca Haro is now heading to prison after pleading guilty in connection to her baby's death.
Her husband, Jake, is already serving a life sentence. NBC4's Kristen Kazaris is live outside the courthouse with more on her decision to change her plea. Kristen?
That's right, guys. Well, it was really a heartbreaking situation, what we heard inside that courtroom today. But I can tell you that 9 months after Emmanuel Otto's disappearance, today his mother pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter. Today, we also learned that 24 hours after the boy's disappearance, detectives say they determined that this was not about a missing person, but a homicide.
Under your agreement with the people of 12 years and 8 months.
Rebecca Otto will now serve nearly 13 years in prison after she pled guilty in connection to her 7-month-old son's murder Friday morning, 9 months after she and her husband, Jake Otto, reported him missing.
Her choice not to intervene was a choice to allow, if not facilitate, Emmanuel's death. This defendant had a legal and moral responsibility as Emmanuel's mother, and she failed in that duty. And that's why she is here.
You did willfully and unlawfully murder baby Joe.
Last fall, the boy's father admitted to the murder and was sentenced to life behind bars, even after investigators say they have not found baby Emmanuel.
We're never going to know where Emmanuel is. I truly believe the only person who knows for certain where Emmanuel's body is Jake Haro.
The investigation began last August when the boy's parents filed a report that 7-month-old Emmanuel had been taken from a shopping center in Yucaipa. Back then, both parents asking for the community's help to find their son.
Please, if you know anything, come forward. Please, I'm begging you.
Within 24 hours, investigators say
This is why she's going to jail. What you see on the screen right here and what just played before, that is why she's going to jail. Yeah. Gayla said that was his dad's arm. Yeah. Jules said, even prison has got to be better than living in a DV relationship. I hope it gives her a different start. I hope it also gives her a lot of time to think about her own personal choices in life. While I am very committed to people with DV and suffering through DV relationships, there has to be a cutoff. And the cutoff here is being complicit in your own child's death. And she had multiple opportunities to tell someone. That's all she'd have to do. If she came forward and told someone, hey, this guy's beating the living crap out of my child and I think he's going to kill him, maybe this would have been different. Gayla said, I didn't know what was on the screen besides the man. Kelly said, no excuses when it comes to protecting your kids, even in a DV situation. Yeah, and that's the thing. She didn't put her children first. She let him go beat the child instead of her. And I'm not saying she should have let him beat her instead of the child. I'm just saying, like, there must have been other ways to do this. And, you know, her bullshit of, like, this and, you know, whatever she's saying in front of the camera. You know, it's funny. In true crime, there's a few cases every so often where everyone in the true crime world just agrees on things. You know, half the time we just don't agree on stuff, right? This channel thinks this channel thinks that. They have this theory, this one has this theory. In this particular case, I think it was universal. Everyone saw through it on day one. Everyone just went, nope, no, it's them. I've only seen that a few times in true crime where like everyone just agrees. And this one was just universal. Everyone saw right through the act. It was very, very, even the people in the local community, they were coming out and they were outside the house and they had like, you know, pickets up and things like that. They did a good job. Sweet Universe said, I can't understand it. Well, maybe you'd have to hear it from her. Yet so far, she hasn't provided a lot to the public. Maybe she's provided it to the authorities, but not to the public. Kelly said, as a parent, especially a mom, it's literally your job to protect your child with your life. Yeah, she didn't do that. She let her child become the she let her child die for her, the other way around. And yeah, she used her children as decoys in the relationship with Jake, basically. That poor kid, man, he deserved better. He deserved a lot better. And this photo is infuriating. this is actually Jake in the background holding Emmanuel. And you just go, you probably just beat the crap out of this kid, and now you're holding him like you're a good dad. It's horrible. Horrible. Marilyn said she got a mark under her eye. Yeah, I know. I'm not sure what that is caused from. I don't know if that's where Jake hit her, or I'm not sure. There was some suggestion at one point that she hit herself and she caused it, but I don't know if that was ever proven or not. I don't remember. But I know at one point someone said that she may have done it herself to make things look more legitimate about being like, you know, attacked and robbed. I think, didn't we say that the bruising under her eye looked very old? I think that's right. It's been a while since I looked at this one. I think we all came to the conclusion that the bruising looked multiple days, if not weeks old. And it wouldn't have been caused by when these people attacked her in the car park. I think that was part of it. It's been a while since I talked about this one, but that seems about right. All right. What else have we got for you tonight? There was another story that I wanted to talk to you about, if I can find it. No, not Gus Lamont. We already did that. There was a story about something in New York. Oh my God. Did you guys see this coming out in the paper today? There was, you know Chris Watts. You know Chris Watts, right? There was some evidence that came out. Evidence photos. I don't know if you saw it. Here, I'll show it to you. There was like evidence photos from, Chris Watts and Shannon Watts. They're saying that this was the T-shirt that Shannon was buried in. And they had all these other things here. This was one of the blankets that they were wrapped in when they were put into that oil barrel. And apparently Chris Watts sent this photo to Shannon before the murders, claiming their daughters had done it while playing. It bears a chilling resemblance to the way Shannon's body was discarded. And then there's apparently this is the bra that she was wearing when she was murdered. They also had some panties here. Yeah. Like they had a lot of this. I don't remember if this was released at the time, but for some reason they're back in the paper again. So I don't know if you guys saw all these photos coming out. There's the other woman who apparently now lives under a different name. You guys heard this? Nicole Kessinger now lives under a different name. And she is like not online at all. She has burnt her online identity and has gone into hiding. She's apparently just in hiding constantly. Has not come out of hiding. There's Dopey. Yeah, bro. You look sick, bro. Look at that awful tattoo. That's a terrible tattoo. You know what that tattoo reminds me of? It's like some guy went to a tattoo shop and went, "Hey, can you give me a tattoo that looks like I'm out of a cheap B-grade Hollywood action movie from the 80s? Can you do that and give me that tattoo?" And they're like, "Yeah, we can do that." And that's what they've done. They gave him the tattoo from an 80s action movie. And like it looks like something Steven Seagal's bad guy in the movie would have from the art department. It is one of the most basic, awful tattoos I've ever seen. Sweet Never said Kessinger is one of the most hated women for good reason. She is the other woman, and they will always be persecuted in the eyes of women everywhere because they are the greatest fear. They are the greatest fear to every woman's relationship is the mysterious other woman. Yeah, so these came out. I don't know why, but they were out in the paper today. And this is apparently the sheet that Shannon was wrapped in when they found her. Why it's hanging up like this, I've got no idea. Maybe they were drying it for evidence. But yeah, there you go. That was out in the paper today if you want to have a look at it. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. By the way, my opinion about Rebecca Haro is it should have been like 25 years in jail. That's my opinion. If people want to know my opinion about Rebecca, and that a plea deal for 12 was extremely generous by the state. Where is this story? I'll have to look it up. All right, we're going to go to New York. And we don't often go to New York, but I think this story you might want to watch because I think you might be interested by it. I'm going to take you out to CBS in New York.
A strange late-night mystery in Brooklyn. Video here captures a group of men climbing in and out of the sewer system. And now police are trying to find them and find out why they were underground. Naomi Ruckham is in Flatbush with the story.
Police know that these men went into the sewer system and they know they came out. What they don't know is what happened during the 2 hours in between. CBS News New York has obtained broadcast exclusive video showing what appears to be a group of men gathering around a manhole on McDonald Avenue just before midnight. Some appear to be wearing waders and gloves. Using flashlights as their guide and car lights to light up the area, one by one, all 7 of them descend below ground. Then, just after 2 a.m., another camera captures a remarkable scene. 7 men emerge from the same manhole. After climbing out, they appear to change clothes. A few of them appear to be shirtless on the side of the road. And listen to this. In that video obtained by CBS News New York, you can actually hear the sound of the sewer lid going back on before the group got away.
So it's New York City in the sewer. Yeah, I think we're all talking about it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. They are what are they doing down there? I don't know. 2 hours and then they come back drenched in sewer stuff and they have to change all their clothes, but there's like heaps of them. Do you guys know what I think it might be? No, I don't think it's people living down there. I think it might be people filming for a YouTube channel. I think it's probably people filming for their YouTube channel. I think they probably thought it'd be fun to go down into the sewer and film. I think that's probably what it is. I think, because why would you have so many people and why would they go for 2 hours and then come back? If there was someone living down there or, you know, something like that, I just have a funny feeling that's what it is. They're filming content. Because, like, yeah, you can imagine the title, right? We went into a sewer and we found this. So, yeah, this is the strangest story I think I've ever heard. I mean, it's one thing to go into a tunnel, but to go into a sewer. And apparently it happened more than once. The NYPD is actively investigating a series of bizarre sewer mysteries in Brooklyn after surveillance footage captured 2 different groups of people emerging from manholes in the dead of the night. The incident occurred just an hour apart on Friday the 29th of May at opposite ends of the borough. Surveillance video obtained by Flatbush Scoop captured a group of 7 individuals popping out of a manhole near McDonald Avenue and Collin Place. After climbing out, several of the men strip off their soiled clothing, change on the side of the road, and then close the manhole cover before walking away. Approximately 1 hour earlier at 1 a.m., a separate group of 8 people were caught on camera entering the sewer at Hayward Street and Bedford Avenue, and that the group exited shortly after and fled the area in a vehicle. I feel bad for the owner of the vehicle. Your vehicle is going to smell terrible. They're saying here it happened also in January of this year. 2 men were arrested in Dyker Heights, Brooklyn, after spending nearly 4 hours exploring underground pipes. And then in April of 2025, 3 men wearing fake neon vests were arrested in Bensonhurst after a neighbor reported them entering a manhole. Upon their arrest, the suspects told police they were hunting for lost gold and jewelry, trapped in drainage systems. So maybe that's what's going on here. I still think this particular one with so many people, I reckon it is a YouTuber. I think it's a YouTube video or TikTok video or something like that. Go get some old-time diseases. You'll get something. An alligator, an old-time disease, hepatitis, something. Kelly said, that is odd even for New York. I thought you guys would like this one because of how weird it is. But I agree, it is a little strange. I'm still a little bit perplexed myself about why someone would do this, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to take you out to News 12 New York in a second too. Hold on. Hopefully it'll load.
Well, it's not something you expect to see in the middle of the night. A group climbing out of a sewer manhole. But tonight we're learning it happened twice Friday morning. First around 1 a.m. in Williamsburg, where police are still investigating, and then an hour later in Gravesend. News 12's Morgan Scott is breaking down this bizarre story.
It's almost like a scene from a very specific show.
Ninja Turtle guys came out of the sewer, immediately sent it to my friend's group chat, started making those jokes.
Except these 7 people emerging from a manhole in Gravesend weren't fighting any bad guys. In this video, captured at 2 in the morning, you can see them coming out one after the other and then hanging around the sidewalk.
That's very weird. Why are you guys down there, and who gave you the permission to be down there?
We still don't know how long that group was underground, raising even more questions about what exactly was happening down there while the rest of the neighborhood was asleep.
I would be very concerned because why are we doing this at this hour of the morning as well?
But even more alarming, police say an hour before this, a group of 8 people were caught on camera entering another manhole in Williamsburg. A short time later, they were seen exiting and then taking off in a car.
I always heard that there was a lot of people living down there, so I figure there's like some maps and stuff, maybe like tunnels. I don't really know. If you ever played Elden Ring, it's like there's like an underneath map that we don't know about. It feels like that.
Regardless of what would ever prompt someone to go down, it is illegal, and the risk of exposure to numerous hazards like deadly gases is far too dangerous. In Gravesend, Morgan Scott, News 12, Brooklyn.
Well, it's not something.
So there you go, your Friday night mystery tonight on what is going on in the sewers in New York. I find that one, funny as hell as a childhood fan of the Ninja Turtles. It could be someone living out there cosplaying Dreams and heading down there and they're LARPing in the sewers. I don't know if that's true, but it would be sort of funny if they did, in a way. But apparently, some of these sewers, if you pick the wrong one, some of them are filled with gases and you can't smell them until you actually get down into it. And by the time you're down there and covered in it, you'll pass out. And then no one will be able to help you. Apparently, this has happened to multiple people in the past. Most of them have lived once they got them back up to the surface, but some of them have died. They've been overcome by the fumes. No one has found them, and they have asphyxiated underground and found at a later point in time. So let's hope that's not what's happening here. I don't want anyone to become asphyxiated. But yeah, very odd to have so many people. Here's a screenshot of it. And they're all huddled around. I would hate to be the owner of the vehicle because your car is going to be ruined. Like, what did they do with all the clothes? What did they do with that? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, let's hope that's not what they're doing. Were they carrying a body? I think you've been at CrimeCon for too long, my friend. I don't think they were carrying a body into the sewer. I think you have to get off the I think you have to get out of the panels of CrimeCon. Sweet Never said, under my high school was a warren of bomb shelters. Ah. I mean, they're probably pretty common. Like, they had heaps of them around the country, so there's probably a few of them around. Yeah, I've seen the one of the woman falling into the sewer before. That is deadly and awful. I've seen that one. I've seen the one with the escalator too, where the guy's on the escalator and the foot or whatever you call it, like the step of the escalator falls through, and the guy goes with it into the machinery and gets ground up like ground beef, and the guy dies. That's an awful thing. Don't go look that up. Don't be watching that if you don't have to. It's pretty horrific. So I'm going to leave you with that mystery on this Friday night of what happens in the New York sewers stays in the New York sewers, maybe? I'm not sure. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Yeah, you know, Sean, that's what I first thought when I heard about it too, but I don't think that is what's going on here. But yes, I know what Sean's talking about. In COVID, they were going through fences and underground and under the synagogues, and they had tunnels and things. I don't think that's what's going on here. But yes, that's where my mind first went when I read about it too. So I'm going to leave you with this story for Friday night, and we'll see if we get an update. Maybe they'll arrest someone. Who knows? We'll see what happens over the weekend. But I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to hang out with you on this Saturday night. If you haven't liked this video already, I would appreciate it if you did. Help us get over that 100 mark. That would be very kind. And yes, I did. I can show it to you guys. Hold on. Yes, I saw this earlier today, and I saw them doing the rescue, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is like freaking terrifying." Here, I'm trying to find a local news station that has it so we can use that. Yeah, here. Hopefully, does this have all of it? Oh yeah, yeah.
Texas, a roller coaster stuck high above the ground. Riders had to be rescued there. 8 charter school students were trapped right near the top of the Iron Shark at Pleasure Pier on the ascent of a 100-foot vertical hill lift. The Galveston Fire Department raised the ladder to the top, got everybody back down on the ground one by one. Park officials say the ride malfunctioned, but as it is designed to do, immediately stopped to keep everybody safe.
Now to a roller coaster getting stuck.
Nope, 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 nope. I don't want it. I don't want any. You can have it. Take it with you. Ping doesn't want it. Just nope. That is frightening. Absolutely frightening. You know what makes me scared? It's not the bit of getting stuck as such. It's the rescuing, right? Because you're that far up. Here, I'll show you. They have to bring the cherry bucket up to you, and then they have to somehow unclip you from the thing that is holding you in safety, and then pull you off that seat. Not only that, you then have to climb down the ladder to get to safety. Nope, 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 nope. Bring me a helicopter. Just, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger it, and give me the helicopter so I can grab onto the bar and do it like that or something. Nope, 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 nope. I don't want it. It sets off my you know, height phobia. I don't want it. No, thank you. What did they say? We're gonna have to do it one at a time. Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, see, they have the bucket, and these people are literally hanging almost backwards on. Is they're so high up too? They're like 5 stories up, and then these guys have to unclip you and pull you off the seat. Just no. Just look at this. See, I told you. You have to walk down the ladder. Fuck that. No. No, 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 no. No. See, they have to walk you down the ladder. See the guy on the ladder? Just no. No, no. No, 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 no. Just no. I don't want it. Send it back to where it came from. Ping doesn't want it. No, no, no. Kelly said, I used to go to Six Flags Great America all the time. I agree. No. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. I would like to pass on that experience, please. That is just absolutely frightening. Oh, and they got stuck in the. I mean, you could be stuck in a worse position. This one's actually probably. It's not the greatest, but imagine if you're on the other side and it stopped. You would be face down, hanging vertically off the side of the other side of that roller coaster. Imagine that. And for hours, you would be the only thing keeping you held in is a strap that is saving your life from you dropping 5 stories. So this, I guess it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, imagine if you were flipped the other way around. That would be that would just I don't want any. I'd like to return my just brutal, absolutely brutal. They always get stuck in like the worst position too, like every time. It's awful. This thing's so high. Can we get a full photo of it so we can show it to you? I don't want to see if we can get. Is there no photo of like the entire thing? They seem to just have photos of like the top bit. I really want a photo of like the whole thing. It's not the greatest one, but that'll do. There you guys go. You can kind of see the scale of it. But do you see what I mean about the other side? If you went over that edge and went on the other side, and then it stopped, you would be floating by the freaking strap that you're held in the seat. So, yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't want to do upside down. You can tell him that you have a free pass to say no to roller coasters. Amy said it's like an elevator drop on that part. I feel so sorry for the people. What you just go home and just be like, I'm done with life for the next 5 weeks. I'm gonna hide with gravity in my bed. I'm gonna hide with the gravities. That's what I would like. Me and gravity are good friends. We're gonna hide together. Oh, we have a photo of the whole thing. Here we go. There you guys go. Finally, someone took a photo of the whole thing. There you go. There's the entire thing. It's that middle bit. It's yeah. Those people, and they got stuck at like the worst point too. Kayla said anyone below me would be getting a free shower. I don't think anyone's calling for that kind of shower. There you go. Was this in Galveston? Did they say Houston? Oh, not Houston, Galveston. Let's have a look. Was it Galveston? That's on the bay. On the what do you call it? The water. That's a good word, Ping. Water. No, it's on the Oh, I had a mental blank. The Gulf. The Gulf. It's on the Gulf. Yeah, Galveston. Okay. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. I feel sorry for everyone involved in that. Let's not do that anymore. Yeah, Island Historic Pier in Texas in Galveston. Where is that? I was trying to just have a look at like where it is. They're on a field trip and they're all students. They got a lifelong. It's almost like, do you know what it is? What's that show? That one where the people die in order. That's what it is. It's the new version of that. Final Destination, Galveston Pleasure Pier edition. All right, let's get out of here, you crazy people. On the Gulf, yeah, on the Gulf. It's an island. All right. Amy said it's very crowded, narrow pier too. I've never been there. Yeah. All right. South of Houston. Yeah, that's where I figured it was south of Houston. All right. I love you all. I'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy your nightmare fuel that this was. And we'll see what happens tomorrow, the crazy things in the world. Good night, everyone. I love you all. Sean. That's right. That's right, Sean. Good night, everyone. Bye. Oh, wait. Hold on. Yes. Wait, no. Wait, what happened? Oh, I want to thank my friend JDR. Thank you, my friend JDR. It's very kind. And Sean too. You guys are extremely generous. Thank you very much. I knew I heard it beep. Yes, thank you guys. You guys are very sweet. And my friend Green Fairy Light. You guys are very, very, very kind. Okay, thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. All the nice people who are here every night. I bring you the best news, especially when we get to some of these appeals and court cases. You guys will have it first here at Nights with Ping. Good night, everyone. Bye.